Hmm? Better late than never, right? Also, his supers are character specific too. Specific. I got it. By the way, the guy that told me it's Aegis. I know it's Aegis, but man, Aegis. Aegis is like, it just, I don't know. It rolls better. Aegis. Aegis. Hit me with that Aegis reflector. Aegis. Hit me with that Aegis reflector. Don't play this like any other game you've played. Aside from zoning and footsies and stuff like that, you know, that you get from other fighting games, everything else I would just leave at the door and just start from scratch when starting out 3S brand new. You're gonna start to learn that a lot of third strikes, a lot of situations in third strike that seem hard have more than one way to deal with the problem. For some reason, it feels like third strike has more ways to deal with problems than well, Street Fighter 4, let's say. You know, I brought this up before when a guy that asked a Remy question was having trouble anti-airing people. I mean, like in Street Fighter 4, a character may only have one good anti-air option, but in Street Fighter 3, you know, for one situation, a character might have 5 different good anti-air options. Third Strike's a game that, you know, you might have two very good players. Let's say they're equal in skill level or in ranking or whatever you want to call it, but this guy's style just directly conflicts with the other guy's style, and you know he moles him over. It's just, you know, style kind of has a big role to Third Strike. You don't have to play every matchup the same. It's a game about playing against the player. How can players like you manage to love the game with that kind of tier list? Okay, so understand the Third Strike tier list, and this is just me speaking from experience of playing in countless tournaments. To me, I feel like I can beat any person on Earth as long as they play anyone but Chun. I mean, so in my eyes, the tier list isn't really even bad. But I mean, that's half the fun. Like, I don't play games for it to be easy. Like, if I was winning easily, it wouldn't be any fun. And I don't know about you, but that's kind of why I'm playing this. So, all right, let's start off with things that you should avoid doing with Akuma. And a lot of players, even good players, do this um, with Akuma. They do low forward into light hurricane kick, not knowing it's gonna hit, not confirmed. They just throw it out there, and like even when it hits, like it's not a good idea. Like, you're gonna get away with doing that sometimes. It's gonna happen. I mean, someone can't block everything, but the problem is that not only you have the least amount of life in the game. You know, light Tatsu on block is super punishable. Okay, the light hurricane kick, and just going into that move without a hit confirm or a parry or punishing, you know, someone else's mistake with a low forward, you know, hurricane kick, and then, you know, your uppercut or whatever you choose to do, it's just so risky and so bad and so like, oh, I hope this works. I hope this hits. It's something you don't want to do. Low forward into light hurricane into uppercut unless you're punishing or you parry or you catch them dashing and you do low forward hurricane, stuff like that, because it's just a Hail Mary and it's desperate. Okay, there's much safer things you can do. Let's say, okay, let's just change the strength of the hurricane kick. Let's just do, if you're not sure if they're gonna hit, if it's gonna hit or not, and you're just kind of throwing something out there, do low forward roundhouse hurricane kick or medium. It's so much safer, and it's not such a just I hope this works. If you know something's gonna hit, then by all means do whatever move into light hurricane into your uppercut or whatever. But if you're just kind of throwing it out there, poking, it's just a horrible, horrible idea. And I see all kind of Akuma players do it. And it's disgusting. You should learn what characters can punish your Roundhouse Hurricane on block without parrying, and what characters can't. So like, let's say Ken. If Ken blocks a Hurricane, he can punish a Roundhouse Hurricane with his super. Alex can't. What other characters? Like Urien. Urien can't punish a blocked hard kick Hurricane without parrying out of it. Parrying, red parrying the last hit or something. Things you should aim for, like Akuma's going to be a tough character to master because his health is so low and he has, a high potential. One thing you should know about Akuma is that he has the best anti-air in the game. Akuma has the best anti-air in the game. If someone jumps at you, you uppercut. If they start to parry, you cancel in the Hadouken, the fireball super. And if they start to parry that, then you finish. Your animation finishes before they finish parrying the fireball super, and then you get to mess with them even more. Jump Hurricane Kick, jump over and then do whatever. I mean, sit in them and just jab, 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 jab. Standing roundhouse, whatever you want. Akuma is also a character that he got all the tricks. He's got everything. He's got overhead combos. He's got great zoning. He's got great space control. He's got great damage. He's got great mobility. He can escape well. He can rush down well. He can play defense. Picking Akuma for your first character is good in the sense that, that's a good character to invest time in. But at the same time, he's got a lot of tools that you'll need to, incorporate to really make him shine. I wish I could go more into detail about this, but it's hard to, be specific when, when I'm not talking personally with someone. Maybe we can do that. Maybe I can do like a live stream one day and just, go one by one with people. Maybe we can do that. You're thinking about picking up Necro as your first main in Third Strike. What's the best way to train with him, and what's his basic strategies? Okay, Necro is one of my better alternate characters, and he is going to be another hard character to play in the beginning because Necro requires a lot of good baiting and a lot of good setups into like parries and making people whiff throws and just very good game sense. So I'm not saying you shouldn't pick Necro as your first character, because if you like him, it's going to make you, play more and want to learn more. So if you like him, pick him. Alright, so let's talk about where Necro is dangerous. Like most characters, Necro, he is godlike when he has someone in the corner. Okay? And against certain characters, he just destroys certain characters. Unfortunately, it's not like Chun-Li or anything, but some characters he just has almost free wins against. The cool thing about Necro is that he has two good supers, which, a character like Alex or Remy, well, Remy has kind of two good supers, but like Alex, because that's who I'm the best with, Alex only has one okay super, but Necro has two good supers. So I'll give you two examples of when you should use one over the other. Okay, so characters that you can't stun very easily and they have like a decent amount of life, you're gonna want to pick the electricity super. I can't remember what the name is, but it's number one and it's the one where you mash for more damage. Characters that have, maybe closer to the lower side of HP and don't have the hugest stun bars, you want to pick Electric Snake. So let's say against Dudley, you would pick the super where you would mash out the electricity, and against like all Shotos, you'd want to pick Electric Snake. And you'll have your preference, and it's not necessarily a bad or good thing to pick one over the other in some like iffy matchups. It's just kind of about preference. I know Pino 87 back in the day would pick the electricity super the Mash Electricity Super against Yun, and Sugiyama would still pick Electric Snake against Yun. So, I mean, it's in some cases it's up to like preference. The best way to train with Necro, and just in general how like a kind of a semi alright outline that you want to play with Necro, is in the middle of the screen, you know, be annoying, force them to make risky decisions, and you know, bait them into doing something that's going to maybe do a move that you can parry. Okay, so let's just say Necro against a Shoto like Ken. Necro's best move in the middle of the screen against Ken is his standing, just like a little hook. Well, it's not a little hook, but it's like a hook. And that's good against his low forward. So if you get good at, you know, stopping Ken from doing that low forward, he's going to result in other buttons. Maybe it's going to be standing roundhouse. It's going to depend on the player. So, you know, if you start zoning him out with that standing forward and he's like, well, I got to go for a longer reaching move, and he starts doing standing roundhouse, then you know the threat is going to be a forward parry. And then, you know, after you give him a little space to poke a move out, be ready for the parry. Once you get in the corner, this is really long. Once you get in the corner, then it's all about your threat of the throw, because in the corner, Necro can, at the very least, except for against a couple characters, can throw them and then medium punch them and cause a reset. So that's a throw damage plus a medium punch damage, plus, you know, the stun from both, and then they get put into a reset into the corner, and then you're in their face again. And then you can throw them or do or you know, go into a combo or wait, and because they've been getting thrown, you know, they might throw again, and then that's when you right as they reset, you back off just a small amount, and then they'll whiff a throw, and then you'll hit them with whatever Necro's like bread and butter is on the ground, which is like, I like to do back medium kick, medium spin into Electric Snake, and then after Electric Snake I just go for the basic like universal combo, which is light electricity, and then back down back fierce, which is this like thing. So I also hope you know that after you land an Electric Snake, you have a chance to juggle the other character in the corner. So hopefully you know that. Man, I medium punch. I like, there's so much I'm missing. It's just when I don't have someone be like, oh, okay, and then what about this, and then what about that? Like, I just like kind of go off on this like someone get me my medicine, where am I, kind of thing. It's not good.